fight that the Jade Dragons thought they wanted to take, immediately shut down by the teleport in from Kana. Still, a dance around the gold purity is what these teams are looking for. And the up down, Kirby's taking a lot of damage, he's gone!
Yeah, Nika and Dart isn't welcome back. Lasra, he's right into the fight once more. Stewart is able to get away, but can't say the same for Awesome Jake. What can a full health Kana do? Right up to the somersault cloud. And out of the
Which is going to work out for them, whereas the Jade Dragons, I mean, I'm looking at that dual lane and thinking, not much pressure is going to be coming through. This team is one of the few that are still prioritizing that Jingwei pick. Not much pressure, not much solo potential, just safe farm, and late game you're going to have Shred, but until that point, you kind of just sit back, and that's what Vote wants. I'm expecting Lasper to not want to spend a lot of time over on the left side of the map.
Do you see the Charon here for the Gladiators? Not a whole lot of teams putting priority towards it. At least during kickoff, we saw it a bit. They had 5 or 6 games they got picked up, but didn't see a whole lot of success. I think Genetics was the only player to find a single game win on the pick, so not the most successful debut for the Charon, but maybe here in week 2, or week 1, I should say. Maybe try and see Jake find some success here for the Gladiators on this pick. Stu's been getting low a couple of times here, so I've been holding my breath every time I stop, just because you never know how volatile this duel lane can go, especially when Stu just keeps getting hit by these knockups. Every time we pan back over to him, he's getting hit by another Jingwei ability.
Yeah, he's not sweating it yet. Once again, Jingwei just doesn't have that much damage. Who knows? There's not any rogue abilities that are going to be coming through that's going to one-shot him. As long as he doesn't get hit by 3 or 4 auto attacks from Vote, he's going to be fine for now. But then level 3 comes around, Mike gets access to the dash, and things get a bit scarier. So, paying attention to level 3, probably what Stu tries to do at this point. Has the banish as well, which is such a nice tool to make sure you can stop all sort of aggression that's near you over in duo lane. This is what I was expecting though. Kirmi heading over to left lane, trying to get some pressure towards that shield buff, but won't be able to. Gonna focus on the mid camps and just let that one slide. This is the benefit though of that Raijin. You see that Neath Spirit Arrow's down, Snoopy does not have much damage to try and fight back anymore. You could just lightning crash forward and say, okay, I'm going in, right? I'm gonna try and find some damage. Because Raijin, his one weakness is that CC, and if it's gone, yeah, he's got plenty of DPS. He can just go forward.
One small thing I actually saw Snoopy do, whether that was intentional or not, was actually step right to the side of the wave and actually soak up that Raiju and then walk away. Slowed down Dardus' clear just a little bit, so he didn't get that Raiju proc there, but nothing you always want to end up doing is taking that free damage. The double setup here from Mike and Vote might just be enough. Stu's got to pop beads, one more auto. Would have done the job, but not quite there from Vote. And so Stu, this time, forced out of beads and sent back to base. Now Nika the one in danger, knock up good by Kirmi. A few more abilities, a couple more in-hands would do it too, but another low health bar, this time from the Dragons.
Yeah, but Nika gets to hold on to his relic because there was no safety, right? He has the teleport. Stu lost beads, which is going to be a bit more impactful. All the while, Lasper is able to grab that blue buff and should be able to make it out just fine as long as he does jump that knockup, which is done. Stu is able to confirm his own purple buff, but looks like Awesome Jake wants to try and find a fight here. Low health bars on Terra, but that's going to be the attempted invade. Is all for now. Surprised. I mean, like I said, the Jingwei not bringing that pressure, but Mike clearly is finding it. This Terra working out well for the Jade Dragons for the early game, but Awesome Jake knows, hey, you guys just attempted to steal my purple buff. I mean, I gotta walk forward, right? At least go for the attempted steal. Just try some throw some abilities your way.
Jake did silence out the dash on Terra, but not quite enough to make an impact around the purple buff. And we actually saw one of the weaknesses of the early game Freya. Sure, she does a whole lot of damage, but as soon as those pulse autos wore off, Stewart no longer had the range to keep up the chase on Mike. Ended up having to give up that chase, that kill. Did get to save the purple buff at the very least, so Stu happy that he gets to hold on to that buff, but probably wishing that he would have been able to get a kill against his opposition. It's been a very fight-happy duo lane, at the very least. It seems that every time we pan over, there's some kind of action going down, which is surprising to say. You know, whenever I see a Jingwei in a lane, I'm thinking, okay, we can pan over here, and it'll just look like this the entire time. So sit back, not a whole lot of fighting, but Mike and Vote have been very active in this duo.
And that's what I'm talking about, right? If you're going to play something like the Terra, if Mike's going to be getting as aggressive as he has been, you throw something that's not a Jingwei in that lane, there's a decent chance that Stewart is dead for some of those engagements, right? Maybe he doesn't push up because instead of, you know, the Jingwei, it's an on her, for example, you know, an early pressure galore. But point being, it's not that much follow-up, right? Vote has been hitting all of his abilities, all of his auto attacks that he can. There's just not that much kill potential, even with the airstrike now active for Vote. It's kind of difficult to hit that. In lane, you want to save it more so for safety, just in case there's going to be a gank from Kiermi coming over. So because of that, it's a slow-paced early game. There's been attempts at invades, not too much success. These buffs are pretty easy to pull away as long as you know the invade's coming. These haven't been secret invades, Jay. These have been very telegraphed. Hey, we're going to go walk over to your purple or to your blue. See if you can try and stop us sort of deal. But I wanted to see more pressure on this shield buff. Can be very important for duo, especially if there's no jungle pressure towards it. Trying to set up for that shield buff on respawn can be very smart. Maybe that's why the Lasbra has made his way over while Kiermi just trying to get a blue buff over here for Kana. Does not. Nika's able to confirm it for himself. He's going to be on the fighting field.
You see the immediate beeline for Kiermi down to blue. Said, I know what happened last time we tried to go for this blue. Lasbra was there and stole it, but Lasbra is on the opposite side of the map trying to go for purple buff invades. Lee actually successful in stealing that one away from the Gladiators. And that was a little bit of what was touched on the desk, at least by inbound, was if you want to get pressure over in the duo lane, steal away these purple buffs. Don't necessarily need to go for a fight. If you can just remove some of this XP off the map, keep them down, could be a way to get into the game. So I believe that was mostly for the Gladiators who want to try and get some of that pressure and try and beat the Dragons to the late game more than anything, because Jade Dragons now have to defend against their own purple with Kiermi's rotation through. Knocked was good onto PVM. The shield and the silence used to hold Mike down for a little bit longer while Stu rotates up. Purple buff getting low. Ultimate from Jake will crash onto one. And Mike's able to dash away, but Kiermi misses on the volcanic lightning, and now he's got to fight back against two, and Zardes crashes the party, takes him down, and Jake rowing away out. The Gilded Gladiators come up empty-handed.
Oh, you gotta hit that volcanic lightning. Even if he did hit, it would have been difficult to find that kill because of the rotation. Jake definitely falling down here. Dardas isn't done. Does he have the taunt? Doesn't quite have the range, so Stu gets to hold on to his beads and ultimate for now. That just goes to show, if you're not using your damage on this Raijin, still an absolute threat. Someone has to deal with Dardas next time, and it's not going to be Kiermi. Down 2 levels at this point because of the 2 kills that Dardas was able to grab. He's in a great spot for the mid lane.
I saw Lasbra blink in, get a little bit down, said, okay, Jake might be able to get out of here, and then Dardas sticks around on the Raijin, shows how much damage this mage has. Might try and return the favor right back to Kiermi. Scores against Lasbra. Trade blow for blow, about half HP apiece. But a 3v1, I don't think Lasbra wants to step too far up for the shield buff. Now with maybe some help from Vote, the Dragons can dash in aggressively again. One more in hand, and no, Vote misses them out. Doesn't get it, and Kiermi's able to blink back to tower. The Jade Dragons, they've got 2 kills, but they just miss out on a 3rd.
Wow, you can tell. Dardas is kicking himself for that one. Man, I mean, he actually lightning crashed away thinking Kiermi had backup. There was none, and Lasbra called it. Hey, we can find a kill. Can you come back in? Not able to find that damage, and because of that, Kiermi gets to live to see another day. But very low health bars, and this goes to show. The damage from the Camazotz as well, certainly there. Vote went into that Aussie start that we've been seeing more and more. There's not going to be too much damage coming from this Jingwei, as also we just got a good look at some auto attacks coming through to try and finish that kill on the Kiermi, but not that crit chance online. And honestly, I've been seeing a lot of these ADCs not even build into crit. It seems like the full shred build, depending on who you're up against, right? If you see the Hades that has been super popular in solo, yeah, you're almost guaranteed to go crit. You're not too worried about that guy being tanky and running you down. But you look at the opposition and you see a Bellona or a Sun Wukong, maybe you want to think about getting some extra shred online. That kin size will be worth its weight in gold, considering how tanky some of these solo laners can build if given the opportunity.
Now, kind of speaking on the Hunter builds, I want to kind of pick your brain a little bit as far as at least first starts are concerned, because for a long time it was Devourer's Gauntlets was the go-to. Bloodforge kind of became a meta for a bit and then went back to the devs. We've been seeing a lot of Aussie starts from the Hunters recently. Is it just you get more benefit from the attack speed compared to what you might get from Dev? I'll have to hold that for a moment because Snoopy is getting, well, he's getting battered to hell by Lasbra. He goes over to the ultimate. Gets the stun on the Laz, but Laz able to turn that one around and make for an easy kill for the Dragons.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Snoopy. Had decent control to try and run away, but you go through the jungle, there's just so much tools, so many tools that Lasbra has to try and chase you down, and the World Weaver is not going to be enough CC to get you out of that situation. Lasbra just recognizes easy gank falls down for it. At the very least, you see that Awesome Jake rotates in with some help from Kiermi and able to control that wave, make sure that the farm isn't missed, but you'd hope it would go underneath when you look at the XP differential between these mid laners. JVac Dardes, because of those 2 kills, sitting at level 12, finished Divine Ruin, is able to go back to base and pick up an Aegis as well. That's second relic. Snoopy can't even dream of a second relic right now.
Yeah, that's only 10 minutes in the game, too, at that. So very quick pacing for Dardes in mid on that XP curve. Not only able to finish his second item, but start building into his third. Meanwhile, Snoopy hadn't even completed that fail knot just yet. Not even sure if he has the golden hand to be able to end up with that one just yet. No, 800, still a couple hundred gold away from there, so fail knot still out of the question for at least another wave or 2 for Snoopy. Vote now with the level lead over Stu, wants to try and take the boxing match, but Vote's surrounded by 3, goes for the knockup, but there's so many surrounding him. The wave, it goes the wrong way. Jake just let it go because he thought they had it. Snoopy's got an ultimate, and that'll be his first kill of the game. And Lazarus not there in time. The Gladiators now on the board, but it's Kiermi who's in danger now, stepping to the wall of PBM, and the damage from Dardes, he's got nowhere to go. Lazarus comes up with the kill for the squad. And can Jake make it out of this one with the help of the wave? Seems that he's got just enough range to escape. Wow,
Beautiful wall there for Mike to trap Kiermi. You can tell he wanted a volcanic lightning away, but realized there was nowhere that he was going to be escaping. I thought maybe Lasper was going to be able to get involved and try and block that World Weaver, but you saw the angle he was coming at. Just could not arrive close enough, so unfortunate for Vote. Does end up falling down there, but the team had the cleanup, and they didn't leave empty-handed. They also steal away some camps and a buff on their way out. Still, with Stuart being so far behind, you don't expect that much damage from these auto attacks, right? I used Pulse and then immediately decided to change into those single target attacks that just do so much damage. Vote barely made it up into the airstrike because of how much this Freya can do if left alone. Left alone. Jake trying to run away, doesn't get stunned out. Mike doesn't have the range, so that's going to be the end of the aggression for now. But you lost that level of safety. You know, I mean, Dardes uses beads, which is another level of safety, but Bo doesn't have the airstrike, right? That was the big deal. The airstrike was down. Now that he's got it, he can step forward, he can go back to farm.
Airstrike and beads for Vote. Beacon spawned up. Jade Dragons first on the scene. Doesn't seem the Gladiators want to step up to this one at all. It never seems set. With the change that came to the Beacon, hasn't shown as much value to the teams. You know, before when it gave the movement speed, we would see 8 to 10 man group ups even for this very first Beacon. Nowadays, even only giving the additional power. Power is still good, but doesn't seem to be as valuable in the eyes of the players.
Not so much. I am liking the upgraded meditation from both supports so far, though. That extra cooldown really can help out. As Stu is stepping forward, has a lot of damage. Here comes the wave and the volcanic lightning. Mike's gone.
Yeah, Mike, no, he's alive. The meditation, the bastion checks him out. Mike is still alive through all of it, and Vote stands by, standing tall alongside his support. The Jade Dragons made it out of that fight. Guess they thought, okay, well, he's got the last shot. Well, he's got the last shot. Well, nobody's got Kiermi's back, who just gets melted by Lasbra. Awesome Jake steps maybe too far forward. Now it's a stun by Mike, catches him out. The knockup is there. Jake gets dropped down. It's PBM with another kill. The Jade Dragons with 6 total.
I mean, that is a brawler's diff as far as I'm concerned. Check out Lasbra's build. Goes immediately into that anti-heal. Recognizes, hey, cooldown med is an issue. I'm going to stop it. Kiermi does not do that. He goes into Soul Eater. He wants to stack it up so strong and synergistic with Pele's kit. But because of that, the cooldown med that I was just talking about makes sure that PBM is able to make it out. And since there's no kill, Kiermi overextends. He doesn't have any mana to try and escape, and Lasbra gets the counter gank, which he is so good at. That is ridiculous. I thought Mike was dead for sure. I even called it. I said he's dead. He was not. Everyone let him go with 1 HP, and I think what you said is true. There was definitely room to dive that kill. They all just thought, oh, you got the last hit, right? You got the last hit. No one had it, and Mike gets to walk through.
Snoopy's still a level down to his opponent just about everywhere, except for the support force. Gladiators behind. It's a 1 level lead for Awesome Jake, but everybody else starting to slowly fall behind. Maybe some a little bit quicker than others. Dardes has been holding on. What's been a 1.5, 2 level lead since around the level 7, level 8 mark. He's been ahead of Snoopy, and that gap has not closed up at all. Instead, skips Book, which I imagine probably Soul Reaver on the mind. and goes straight into a Typhon's Fang for Dardes. Simon's been popping his way back up. Mike dashes in aggressively. A lot of HP dropped away. The wave catches him out. The Mike goes down this time. They're going to guarantee he falls. Lasbra eats an ultimate from Snoopy, who's not as healthy jumping into this fight. Awesome Jake still saying bye. Kirby's just getting ran at the backline by Nika, but Jake is just going to wave down and take away Vote. Snoopy fighting the 2v1, and it's Dardes who comes up with a killing spree.
Nika still has Eagles Rally stepping forward into the zone for Dardes. Curious fight that the Jade Dragons thought they wanted to take, immediately shut down by the teleport in from Kana. Still, a dance around the Gold Fury is what these teams are looking for, and the up down. Kirby's taking a lot of damage, he's gone!
Yeah, Nika and Dardes, and welcome back Lasbra. He's right into the fight once more. Stewart is able to get away, but can't say the same for Awesome Jake. What can a full health Kana do? Right up to the Somersault Cloud and out of the fight instantly. Nika, though, not going to let him walk over to the Gold Fury that the Jade Dragons immediately pick back up after winning that fight. Stu lives through the fight, but he's going to have to go back to base once it's done. The Dragons get a couple of kills and a Gold Fury.
That means that they're going to be able to grab that and back up, and wow, what a scrap towards the end there. I mean, I talked about it early on, J-Mac, and you highlighted before that fight. Dardes is massively fit, and I think that's something that everyone should know. But he's not being targeted. He's not being focused out. In fact, I would argue he's free casting, and that's an issue. 403 on the Raijin, level 18 at 16 minutes. I mean, Kana and Kirby have one target in mind, and it should be the Raijin, right? That kill needs to happen, and if not, you're gonna be in a bad spot as this game continues. Just think about the differential here. Imagine Stewart and Dardes fighting right now. That's 5 levels. There's just so much farm that is in Dardes' hands that could be taken away just with one kill. It has not happened yet. He did use both relics though, and ultimate. That ult's already back up though, so the Tycho drums are a problem. With no objectives to fight over, Dardes should be fine for now.
Second beacon. About half a minute from spawning in. Jake takes an aggressive route in, finds Lasbra, Mike, and Dardes standing by, but that's a level 18 Raijin at only 17 minutes in. A 4-0-3 start for the free casting Dardes. Has been a great look for the Jade Dragons. Now the Gladiators gotta find some kind of answer back, put some sort of focus to Dardes. I thought for a moment that it was gonna be Kana, but Kana walks in, sees 3, pops ult, and immediately hightails out of the team fight. Jade Dragons start up the beacon. The Gladiators not willing to walk too far forward, not willing to expend their life bars just to try and stop this beacon cap.
In Kana's defense, he's not the one who fed Dardes, right?
No.
You leave lane with your little 3 items. You know, like you got yourself a Glad Shield and Arc Druid. You're like, I didn't prioritize magical defense because surely there's not a level 19 Raijin when I rotate out. Then you look around, you're like, what'd you guys do? What did you do?
John Travolta was like, guys, what's going on here?
Guys, I was supposed to be tanky. I showed up to this fight thinking I could frag carries, and unfortunately not the case. Kana still does have the tank stats to survive, but survive and zone out carries is a different story. So Kana might need one more item, probably a heavy magical defense item in his future. Something to deal with this Raijin, who by the way just picked up a full Soul Reaver, so yeah, I'm thinking someone needs to deal with what Dardes is doing, or not fight around him. Pyromancer's up, and the Jade Dragons went for a pull, but it seems to me like this is a bait. They want to get as much damage as they can.
Another 1/4 of Kana's HP with essentially one ability from Dardes. Pyromancer started once more by the Dragons. Jake on the scene, but his only real steal potential would have been the wave, and he's a little too late for that opportunity. Jade Dragons get a second Pyromancer, a Gold Fury, and a 7,000 gold lead here at only 19 minutes. This is a staggering pace from the Dragons, and one, based off, if you were to listen to Mike's interviews, wouldn't feel like it would be something that they would go for, this early pressure style, but it's worked out well for them. And unfortunate for Stu, he just can't catch a break over this lane, jumps up into the sky, but Nika, Voth, they're all chasing down. He gets to back up with Kirby, but that's not going to be enough. Even the tidal wave isn't slowing down Nika. He's still beelining into the backline. He wants something. He doesn't want to walk away empty-handed, and he won't. Dardes solos out Snoopy in the jungle.
How many times does that happen? That's the second time we've seen Snoopy go, oh, you guys need some help, I'm on the way. And Dardes just catches him in the jungle, lack it, and gets so much damage off. Neith cannot self-heal. If you backflip away, Dardes is lightning crashing in. and is able to find that kill. And the target was Stuart, right? Like we saw a teleport in. That was a coordinated gank onto the Freya. But what does Stu do? He holds his beats as long as possible, uses it on the Eagles rally. He holds his ult as long as possible, and the team shows up. Kiermi and the wave in from Awesome Jake was able to keep the Freya alive, but it looks like Dardes wanted to try and gank as well. Remember, no beads are ultimate. This Freya's a sitting duck if anyone's able to get close.
I'm saying Stuart can't catch a break, but right now it's Snoopy, who's really been suffering a whole lot in these fights between him and Kiermi. Put up 7 deaths total between the mid 2v2 compared to the 8 kills for the Jade Dragons. 303 for Laz, 503 for Dardes, and add another Fury to the pocket of the Dragons. And Oni Fury this time, not the end of the world, but something that Gladiators will have to spend a moment to definitely deal with. Because as we start approaching this 20-minute mark, we've been seeing we've been seeing many earlier Fire Giants. That's where I was trying to go with.
I have seen a lot much Fire Giants.
A lot much Fire Giants have been done.
And in this case, yeah, they've got the ability to do so. And I like this changeup. Look at this. Send Vote over, right? He's your consistent DPS. He's going to be able to burn Fire Giant. But Lasbra is still over on the left side of the map because Stuart doesn't have beads. He could be an easy gank if Camazotz is able to catch him out. But instead, Lasbra's going for a wraparound here. I'm pretty sure Kiermi spotted this out.
Well, if he hasn't, he should know that Lasbra's there now. Took a couple of shots from the bat. Dragons now group up towards the right side, right? Tier 1 tower down. Kana Ox forms away, but is immediately stunned by the Eagles rally and has to go up into the cloud and immediately try and escape out of here. But Lasbra's not going to let him back for free. He says, hey, I'm standing inside the jungle. My team's doing fire. Somebody has got to step up to defend this one. The Jade Dragons already pulled the fire. It's down to half HP, and Lasbra's the one who's trying to play gatekeeper against Jake. But the Fire Giant getting low, less than a quarter HP. Tidal Wave goes through. Is it enough to steal? No, it is not. The Fire Giant goes down to the Jade Dragons.
Yeah, the wave was not even there to make it in time, but now another ambush might be set up. I think Lasbra is keen to this one. He's going to make sure he's not getting hit by a World Weaver through the wall. And the Jade Dragons haven't even backed yet. In fact, Lasbra might be able to stop backs while the rest of the team pushes in for a Phoenix. No, Kiermi and Stu able to retreat. So this right side bird is now a lost cause. But still, Fire Giant at 5, 22 minutes in. That problem, that Raijin that we've been talking about, still 5-0-3, and has had both relics for quite some time now. Tier 2 in mid is a target. See if the Gladiators can go in for some defense. Remember, Kiermi's still lurking on the side. Keep your eyes on the Pele. See if he can step forward.
2 and right down, Tier 2 in mid, threatened by the Dragons. Kiermi threatened by Nika. Can't even work on his own speed buff by himself. Needs a backup. Eagles rally in place by Nika, and he's just shredding through Kiermi's health bar. Lasbra shows up to give him a hand while Awesome Jake is there to play defense. Tier 2 tower in mid goes down. The Jade Dragons got what they wanted. Now they can head back to base and spend up some of that much needed golden pocket.
I mean, that's the crazy part, right? This gold is still extremely impactful. This is not late game Fire Giant territory. Lasbra has 3 items to his name. I'm sure he's going to go back and be able to finish up a starter and look towards that Heartseeker, but either way, this gold is still extremely important for the team fights that we're looking at. It's not easy to tank up a bird or even go for a Phoenix at this point because of how little defense Polar Bear Mike actually has to his name. It's just Thebes and Contagion just now finishes up that Compassion. So that makes the siege a bit easier. Add 2 Runic Bombs to that conversation, and now we might be looking at an opportunity to break the base.
To put into perspective, I was watching the Golden Hand, I was trying to do the mental math. And the Dragons were sitting at 12,000 gold in pocket, and by the way, that's also their same gold lead. So all the lead that they had was just sitting there waiting to be spent. Now the Jade Dragons have done so, can beeline it up the right side of the map. Kiermi, taken out already. Eagles roundly catches him out. Dardes still trying to crash in. How much will the Tidal Wave realistically do? Jake's gonna get pulled back in by Dardes. Tries to row the opposite direction, but gets stopped in place. Dardes 5-0-3, make it almost 6. Nika able to sneak that one out as the rest of the Dragons push up right.
Snoopy was pushing up left, trying to get the waves gone. He should be able to make it back to this defense. The Jade Dragons step forward. Mike tanking up this Phoenix. Didn't take too much damage, but remember, 2 Runic Bombs still in use. Lasbra and Vote have access to them, but haven't dropped them yet. They have faith their Titan is going to push up left lane. They've got 19 seconds without Awesome Jake. The Jade Dragons can play this one slow.
Dragons will slowly work towards the Phoenix. One Runic Bomb still in pocket. This one for Lasbra. Nika trying to walk through the door, but can't do so just yet. The rest of the team works on Phoenix. Phoenix goes down right side. That's the call for Nika to charge forward. Stu up to the sky, but where will he even land back to? It's hell for Kirby as he's already sent to the grayscale. Lasbra takes down Awesome Jake, and Kana doesn't have much more to go himself. Dardes with the double kill and an unstoppable 7-0, but the Jade Dragons, really, they can't end the game. The Titan's not there.
Yep, they got to go back and find the Titan, so they are going to go in for the mid-bird and then retreat. I was going to say, still, 2 relics up for Dardes. It's not like anyone can get to this Raijin. I don't even think the Gilded Gladiators are misplaying. I think they just don't have anyone tanky enough to stand up to him. Awesome Jake, if you remember, he just got picked. He's already dead again. He spawned, walked in, I guess he rode in, and then he died again. There's just no one that can step up to the might of Dardes, and Lasbra has the perfect gank opportunity, right? Once one escape is down, he's jumping in, he's closing gap, bat out of hell. His damage is also extremely threatening, and I don't know if you noticed, but Nika got stuck between Phoenixes, and I didn't see his health bar go down. He tried to open the door, he's like, wait, you guys didn't get the Phoenix yet? Oh well, I'll just chill here because no one's gonna kill me.
But now the Jade Dragons, even more staggering lead than before. I thought 12,000 was scary. Take a look at 16,500. Oh, by the way, 26 minutes in the game, all still very relevant for that gold lead. Because everybody on the Gladiators still has their recipes. The only one with it on the opposite side is Mike. He's the only one still holding on to his bow because he just hasn't been able, or I guess hasn't had enough gold to spend to need to sell it just yet. Meanwhile, the Gladiators are just waiting, maybe biding their time as much as they can to try and hold back. It's fire waves in 2 lanes, tier 1 tower on left, or tier 2, and the Phoenix might be their one saving grace. With Fire Giant spawning back in, the Jade Dragons, there's no one to threaten this one unless Jake throws out a tidal wave like right now. Like, throw it now, Jake, if you want to try and steal it away. But it might be too little too late. The Gladiators just going to give this one up.
There's nothing I enjoy more than seeing the slow-moving wave come through, though.
So slow.
It's very slow, but hey, it does do a little bit of burst damage. Could have been enough to try and cause some ruckus, but Lasbra and Nika trying to find some lone backs here. It looks like Kirby and Stu were able to make it back in time. It was close, but not quite. Now, though, left side, that's what we're looking towards. You got tier 2 tower, you got one more bird, and you got one more Runic Bomb to try and go through. My question, and I think we'll get an answer pretty soon, is did the Gilded Gladiators even go for a soft defense here? I think they're going to say, hey, we can try to stand up to this Phoenix, but if it goes sour, we will be losing the game off it. So, back up, give up the Phoenix, and defend tight. It's not Enhanced Fire Giant. That may be the only play they have.
Tier 2, there will be no defense. The sound of the soft drum beats from that plush Raijin skin. Anyways, now we get to the Phoenix. We'll see if that defense is there from the Gladiators. Problem is, they're being attacked from 2 sides. From directly in front of their bird and from Nika and Lasbra sneaking around the backside. And it's not even really a sneak. They just walked right in, opened the door, said, hey guys, we heard that the party was at this side of the map. All 5 Gilded Gladiators standing by as Kanu goes to the back line, gets to Dardes, gets the beats and the Aegis away from the Raijin. This is the biggest threat, the best chance they've had, but it's still not enough. Kirby's already down, but Dardes finally will fall down. His first death of the game. Can Stu make it out? No, he cannot. Lasbra gets 5 in a row for himself, and about to make it 6 as he swoops in to take down Snoopy. Nika gets the credit for the kill, and it's just the tanks left for the Gilded Gladiators, and Jake and Kana might not be enough. The Jade Dragons take game 1.
They certainly do. Off of the Gilded Gladiators, one shot to find a defense. And I actually like that coordinated attack. They killed Dardes. If they did that, I don't know, 20 minutes earlier, maybe those fights would have went a bit better for them, but they were not able to isolate the threat. I think that was the problem. Dardes was free casting, Lasbra was unkillable, Nika was unkillable. They did get, I believe, all their kills on the duo lane up until that fight, right? There was 3 kills total, 2 on Vote, 1 on Mike. Besides that...